Okay, following on from the supermarket adventures, I've got a pretty funny story as well that happened within our like first or second week of like staying here. And what happened was that we sort of intentionally, sort of unintentionally decided to steal a shopping trolley and push it all the way back to the uni. Borrowed. Bonnie wants me to say borrowed instead. Okay, borrowed, not stealing, borrowed. The reason why was because we went to the supermarket one time and we stocked up on our water supply, and we had 8 cartons, 8 4-litre cartons between the 4 of us girls. And so we thought, yeah, this is manageable. We can each just hold like 1 in each hand and walk all the way back. But then we realised just how heavy it was. And the next thing we noticed was that some people were actually taking the trolleys out of the supermarket but headed straight towards their car, which was parked right in front of the supermarket. So we thought, oh, so we don't have to return the trolleys straight away. It seems like, you know, they don't really mind either way. So then I can't remember whose bright idea it was. Definitely not mine, because I'm such a wuss at this kind of stuff. But one of the other girls, I think it was either Bonnie or Candace, most likely, they decided to they just went, let's just try to push it all the way back to the dorm. And I was like, no, that's not a good idea. You know, that's stealing. And they go, oh, don't worry, we'll push it back next time we have to go to the supermarket. It's just borrowing. You know, they won't mind. We come here all the time. And so I'm like, oh, okay. But the whole time we were pushing it, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so wrong and everything. And what happened was that when we were almost at the uni, we actually passed 2 young people who worked at the supermarket, 2 young guys who worked at the supermarket who might have gone on a ciggy break, or we don't know. But the funniest thing is that we passed them without actually realising it, and they kind of turned around, looked back, but then kept on walking back to the supermarket. So we're like, oh, okay, well, never mind that. They probably get uni students doing this all the time. So we just kept on pushing it. And right before we got to the gates, we thought, oh, we better take a picture to commemorate this event, because at the gate before we get into our uni dorms, there's actually a whole heap of guards. So we thought, oh, if we're going to get busted, he'll be there. So then we took a quick picture, and the whole time we were posing for the picture, we were attracting a lot of attention from just random passerbys and everything. And, you know, 4 girls holding a shopping trolley where there was no supermarket right next door kind of thing. It's pretty obvious that we weren't really doing something proper. And the whole time we were posing for the photo, I was just saying to Bonnie, oh my gosh, we're so going to get caught within the next 2 minutes. And what do you know? We got to the gate, and the funniest thing was that the guards at the uni just basically just looked at us and went, whatever. But then we bumped into 2 older people, a male and a female, from the supermarket who were coming out of our uni. And and the thing is, what happened was that they walked past us first. And then they turned around, they paused, and they walked right back. And so we were obviously feeling really guilty at that point, because we knew we'd been busted. So we all just went really, really quiet suddenly. And then the old man said to us just suddenly, he was like, why do you have a shopping trolley? And we all went silent again, and we were really, really guilty just looking at him like this. And then the next thing, he was like, how did you get a shopping trolley all the way here? And yet again, we went really, really quiet. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. And then I think Bonnie and Candace were just like, don't say anything, just pretend we can't understand what he's saying. And the next thing he did was he turned to like the old woman next to him, and he was like, oh my gosh, what's the security guard doing? Why were they followed? And then he turned back to me, he goes, you weren't followed, were you? You're supposed to be followed when you take a shopping trolley out of the supermarket to make sure you return it. And I was like, mayo, which means no, we weren't. And so the next thing he said was like something about how we had to like, you know, return the shopping trolley. And I was like, oh crap, so we have to take our stuff out and then return it as well. But then he grabbed a hold of the handles and he turned the shopping trolley around after we got the stuff out. And I was like, oh, okay, so we don't even have to return it ourselves, we can just take our stuff out. And so we basically managed to almost steal a shopping trolley. I mean, borrow a shopping trolley. But in the end, we were caught in the process. So, just a tip, if you ever come to BLCU and you go to the supermarket right next door, don't try to steal a shopping trolley. You probably will end up getting caught. But if you do manage to borrow one all the way to your dorm room, I reckon, good on ya.